Best ball fantasy football. What if you draft an injured player? Imagine sitting down for your fantasy football draft and realizing you've just picked a player who's hurt. It's a common scenario, especially in best ball leagues where you don't get to change your lineup during the season. Unlike traditional leagues, best ball automatically picks your highest scoring players each week, so missing games can hurt your total points. But don't worry, drafting injured players isn't always a mistake. It's about understanding the timing of their return and how it fits into your overall strategy. In best ball leagues, players who are injured but expected to return later in the season can still be good picks. If a player is injured early but is projected to come back and produce big points later, they might be worth drafting at a lower cost. This is especially true if they have a history of high performance or are coming off a significant injury but are expected to recover fully. The key is to find players whose return aligns with your team's needs and who can boost your end-of-season totals. Since you can't make in-season moves, it's smart to build a roster that balances risk. For example, if you draft an injured running back, you should also pick a healthy backup or handcuff to cover their missed games. This way, if your main player doesn't return or gets injured again, you still have someone who can step in and score points. It's also wise to diversify your risk by not stacking too many injured players at one position. Spreading out your risk helps prevent a bad injury season from tanking your team. Position matters when drafting injured players. For quarterbacks, some players might be injured but still have a chance to return mid-season, making them a good late-round gamble. For running backs, injury risk is higher, so many drafters target backups or handcuffs who can step in if needed. Wide receivers and tight ends tend to be less risky in this regard, but you still want to consider their injury history and the likelihood of a quick return. In best ball, value is everything. Injured players often fall in drafts because of their injury status, which means you can sometimes get a high upside player at a discount. If that player returns healthy and plays well, you could be gaining a huge advantage over others who avoided injury risks altogether. But remember, there's always a chance they don't return as expected, so don't overdo it. Managing your exposure to injured players is essential. Drafting one or two can be smart, but piling up too many increases the risk of missing out on points early in the season. Since best ball rewards big weekly performances, a player returning from injury who hits a few big games can really boost your team. But if they don't perform or get injured again, it can set you back. In the end, drafting injured players in best ball is a calculated risk. It's about timing their return, balancing your roster, and finding value where others see risk. When done right, it can turn injury concerns into a strategic advantage, helping you build a team that peaks at the right time and maximizes your chances of winning.